This video training is about expanding and validating your research so you're citing to the best authority in your brief. This is Samantha Israel, and this video will help you write a great brief for your LARC class. To write a truly persuasive and solid legal argument, you need to have a thorough understanding of the law and be able to support your legal arguments with cases that are relevant and have strong precedential value. We'll do this by going over 5 brief writing tips. This will help you determine where to start your legal research. Next, we'll apply the 3-step research approach to make sure you're finding relevant cases for your assignment. Next, we'll go over a critical step in the research process, shepherdizing, so that you can be sure that the cases you're citing to are still good law. And finally, I'll show you where you can find sample briefs, which can help you structure your legal arguments when you start writing your brief. We're going to use the fact pattern from your LARC assignment. As you know, the defendant was indicted on a federal weapons charge. He was arrested by police after a meth lab explosion on his property. When police arrived at the scene, the defendant was wearing pants but no shoes or shirt. According to the officer, there were bottles and broken glass on the ground near the site of the explosion. Also, the officer claimed that in order to protect the defendant from injury on the walk to the squad car, he asked the defendant for permission to enter the trailer to get him clothing. The defendant didn't respond. When the officer entered the trailer, he states he saw a gun in plain view in the bedroom. The government is arguing that the officer's presence in the bedroom was permissible as an exigent circumstance. The defendant is bringing a motion to suppress the evidence on 4th and 14th Amendment grounds. Your assignment is to write a trial brief on whether the need to gather clothing for a partially clothed defendant is an exigent circumstance and whether the facts here met any such exception. Before you start researching and writing your brief, it's important to answer these 5 questions. What is your jurisdiction? Who are you representing? Do you have any authority to begin your research? What are your key terms and what is your issue? Answering these 5 questions will help you figure out where to start your research and keep you on track to finding materials most relevant to your assignment. We know our jurisdiction is the 7th Circuit, and you know who you're representing based on your professor's assignment. Now, as for the 3rd question, we weren't given a case or statute to begin our research. In this situation, the last 2 questions are vital because they will help us figure out where to start our research. When determining our key terms, consider these 3 things: party, circumstance, and cause of action. When considering circumstances, think about the key and unique facts of your case. This will help you get to the most relevant materials quickly and easily. You can also use the issue to help you determine your search terms. Here, our issue is based on exigent circumstances. We'll use this as the starting point for our research, and then add in circumstantial facts like clothing and shoes to filter down our results. Let's log on to Lexis Advance now and begin applying the 3-step research approach to find the best case law. We are going to run our search across all sources using a 3-step process: search, source, filter. This 3-step process helps make the amount of content on Lexis Advance more manageable. When researching a new topic, it's best to start your research with secondary materials. This will help you understand the meaning and the background of the law. Let's run a search using terms and connectors. We're going to run a search for all variations of the word exigent with the word circumstance. In the search box, enter in EXIGEN exclamation point and then the word circumstance. Now we're on to step 2, source. We're looking for secondary materials, so to change the source from cases to secondary materials, go to the Select Category dropdown in the top left corner of the screen and select Secondary Materials. Let's narrow down our results to find the most relevant and helpful materials. Using the filters on the left, select the Category dropdown and choose Treatises. With any new research assignment, always start with treatises. Treatises are written by experts, so they give you expert guidance, and they're designed to explain legal issues and concepts. The authors also include citations to the authority they rely on. Let's narrow down our results even further. Under jurisdiction, select federal. Now, to find treatises that include our key terms and unique facts, use the search within results filter. This is like our Control F function. Here, let's type in clothing. This will show us treatises that discuss exigent circumstances and clothing. Once we've narrowed our results, we'll want to review the information we found. Let's open up result number 3, section 2-5, other exceptions to the warrant clause. Lexis Advance has helpful tools to help you quickly and easily find what you're looking for. Use the All Terms dropdown at the top of the page to search for a term in your document. Let's click the dropdown. We can see that our term clothing appears 11 times in this document. Now, use the arrows to the right to see our terms in this treatise. This brings us to a paragraph on clothing exception, which seems right on point. The first sentence tells us that some circuit courts recognize a clothing exception that combines community caretaking with exigency. To see the authority the author relied upon, click on the green box for footnote 153. Here, we can see that the cases the author relied upon have similar facts to those in our fact pattern. Using a treatise is a great way to find primary law, like we just did here. You'll want to review these cases to see how each side presented and argued the facts and law on this topic. Treatises are also a great way to link to topic summary reports. These are a one-page overview of key information on different legal topics. To access the topic summary reports, go to the right side of the screen in the About This Document box and click View Reports under Topic Summaries. There are a lot of different legal topics discussed in this treatise. If we go to the second page, we can see number 13 is on exigent circumstances. Click on this to see the report. Here we have the definition, seminal cases, elements, burden of proof, and standard of review, all with citations. You are definitely going to want to know these fundamental points of law anytime you're arguing in front of a judge. Once you've read the treatise and have a good understanding of the law, it's time to start researching case law. Go back to your results list. Since we want to switch sources to cases, use the drop-down menu in the top left corner and select Cases. Now it's time to filter our results. On the left-hand side, select Court and then select Federal. Then, using Search Within Results, we are going to type in clothing exception in quotation marks because we're searching for that exact phrase. Notice that our search terms are being highlighted in different colors. These colors are showing up below our case names. This is called the search term maps. It helps you quickly see where your terms are showing up in the case and how frequently. You can move over and map and change the preview text to get an idea of the discussion around your terms before even opening up the case. Let's open up the first case in our results, United States v. Gwynn. Again, the first step is to read the document. Lexis Advance also provides helpful tools to further your understanding of a case. The case summary gives you a quick overview of the case. Get an understanding of the case before reading it because sometimes case language can be dense, or to quickly refresh yourself when you return to a case later on. Lexis headnotes are critical. These are the key holdings and findings from the case set out for you, making sure you don't miss anything important in the opinion. Lexis headnotes are unique because they are the exact language of the court. You can jump down into the opinion to see the headnote in context. Always cite from the opinion and not the headnotes. Once you've found a case that's relevant, you must validate it to ensure it has strong precedential value and is still good law. It is essential that you shepherdize any authority you plan to use in your research. At the top of the page, we can see the shepherd signal to the left of the case name. Hover over the signal to see what the signal indicates. We can see that the Gwynn case has cautionary treatment due to possible negative treatment by another case. To see the case that's had the strongest impact on the shepherd signal, click Reason for Shepherd Signal on the right side of the screen. This shows us that Gwynn was distinguished by the case E.W. versus Dolgod. You can see a graph of all citing references to Gwynn here on the right side of the screen. To view the full Shepherd's report, click on Shepherdize this document. This page shows you all of the cases that have cited to the Gwynn case. These will be listed by court and then by date. It's critical that you read all of the cases that have cited to your case negatively. You can do this by clicking on the cautionary treatment filter on the left, then viewing those cases. When looking at these cases, you need to determine why the courts didn't follow the Gwynn ruling. What did they criticize, or what were the distinguishing factors? This is important information you need in order to be completely confident that you can cite to Gwynn as strong, valid precedent. You can use the Shepherd's Report to expand your research to find additional cases that support your legal arguments. If you believe the court should follow the precedent in Gwynn, you can make that a stronger argument by using other cases that have followed that decision. To find those cases, click on the positive followed by, and you'll have additional authority that supports the Gwynn precedent. Now that you know how to find relevant, valid cases, it's time to put your arguments into writing. Lexis Advance houses the largest online collection of litigation-related documents, and for you, it means you don't have to reinvent the wheel when you have a template to help kick off your brief writing. Let's run a search for exigent within 3 words of circumstance by typing exigent \3 circumstance. Now, let's select our source, briefs, pleadings, and motions. Use filters to narrow your results. Under category, select briefs. Next, select your jurisdiction by selecting court, federal. Next, use search within results and enter in motion to suppress in quotation marks. To narrow our results down even further, use the search within results filter again and enter in clothing \s exception to search for clothing within the same sentence as the word exception. Here are sample briefs discussing motions to suppress and exigent circumstances involving the clothing exception. Use these to see how legal arguments were organized and structured so you can write your brief like a pro. If you have any questions or would like assistance with your legal research, reach out to your student reps or myself. You can find our contact information on the Lexis Law School homepage. Don't forget, you can also call or live chat with Lexis customer support. And finally, make sure you're opted into daily research points so you earn while you learn. Thanks for watching.